A Wisconsin police officer was placed on leave after getting caught having sex with a prostitute in his unmarked squad car. It says that a Madison police officer has been put on paid leave after a bystander recorded video of him apparently engaging in sexual activity with the prostitute while parked in an unmarked squad car in a vacant parking lot. Although Madison police have not yet released the identity of the officer, they acknowledge that he was an MPD officer and was potentially engaged in sexual activity with another person inside of a squad car. The video, which was shot by a Madison resident, Marcel Scott, and is now widely circulated throughout social media, shows the bystander filming the officer and the prostitute from the squad car's front window. The police is in here effing, y'all. Scott is heard saying, "Look, he's effing a prostitute." And he did go on to say, "If that was me, I would be locked up." Scott said he took the video shortly before 4 p.m. on Thursday as he noticed a squad car parked off to the side of the vacant lot and saw white legs popped in the back seat of a police car. You could see the images of two bodies. He said he walked to the front of the vehicle and saw a person on top of the woman. He described the woman as in her 20s or 30s with blue hair, while the officer was an older black male with a mustache, according to Scott. Upon realizing that they were being recorded, the woman is seen covering herself while the officer briefly gets out the driver's side rear door of the vehicle before getting back in again and driving away. See? Filth. Straight filth. But then too, at the end of the day, you have to understand, just because a person wears a certain uniform, it doesn't mean that they're not a certain type of person. Some people in uniforms, police uniforms to be exactly what I'm saying, some people in uniforms murder people. Some people in uniforms are alcoholics. Some people in uniforms like buying prostitutes. And this is case in point. That's why the punishment should be the same when you're not on duty. If you're not at the job working to protect and serve, and you're out doing some crime, you have to be punished just like the rest of the public. Because you're not an officer when you're at Disneyland. When you're at Disneyland, you're just a tourist like everybody else. When you're at a bar and you start some shit with somebody and they put that work in on you, you're a civilian like everybody else in the bar. So therefore, while he's in this unmarked car and he's not on duty, he has to be punished just like you would punish anybody else. Like the young man said, if it was me, you'll be arresting me. So he did a citizen's arrest. Even though the officer drove off, he had footage. So he did the citizen thing. And now the officer's getting something done to him, because right now he's on paid leave. But the rules have to apply for everybody. Rules are for everybody. If rules are not for everybody, we shouldn't have them at all. Rules apply to you whether you're in the armed forces, police department, whatever is your occupation, you still have to follow rules too. The rules may apply different when you're at work with that uniform on, but when you're not at work, the rules are going to have to be different. Because like I say, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all need to be judged equally. Judgment is judgment. If it's judgment for me, it should be judgment for the next man, regardless of his title. And with that, I'm going to say this is the new Zenu, north, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door. As multiple U.S. federal agencies continue to move thousands of Haitian migrants from a makeshift encampment on the banks of Rio Grande River this week, which, for those that don't know, the Rio Grande River is on the border of Texas. Says that the Department of Homeland Security officials said Thursday that they were also actively investigating approximately 15,000 Haitian migrants who were able to quickly make their way through Mexico to Del Rio, Texas, without being detected by U.S. intelligence. On a background call with reporters Thursday, an official with the DHS said that the department has been closely following the movement of migrants through the hemisphere. Many of the current influx of Haitian migrants reportedly traveled to the U.S. from South America. They went on to say, "We did not, however, have any intelligence that suggested we would be seeing the surge in numbers that we saw over the past week. We didn't know we was going to get that many, but they acting like they didn't know, but they did know." Because it went on further in the report to say, based on a number of internal government documents obtained by the news, it appears that the Biden administration has been tracking migration from Haiti to the U.S. since as early as March. It went on to say that the Biden administration has been tracking migration from Haiti to the U.S. since early as March. But intelligence reports, assessments produced by a number of different agencies within the DHS repeatedly downplayed the likelihood of a surge in Haitian migration headed for the U.S., even as conditions on the ground in Haiti continue to get worse. On March the 1st, the DHS Office of Intelligence and Analysis issued a report titled "Political Strife in Haiti Unlikely to Spur Migration." The office is charged with gathering intelligence about emerging threats and circulation to federal, state, local, and tribal agencies and government entities. See, they knew about this migration of these Haitian people, but they downplayed it as if they didn't, because they wasn't expecting 15,000 people to cross the border. They probably was like, "Oh, nah, they ain't gonna make it. It's gonna be too far to travel." But what happened? They made it. They were determined to get out of their situation. But now that they're here, a White House spokesman was on the hot seat with the news, and they was asking her, like, "Hey, why are the Border Patrol on horses with whips whipping these people?"
And I want to follow up on the question about Haitians and specifically these photos that are surfacing on Border Patrol agents seemingly using whips. And then you said that there's no context that it would be seen as inappropriate. So the question really is, why would this be happening under the Biden administration? Is this going to stop? What would I wonder sort of what are going to be the consequences if what we're seeing is what we're seeing?
I mean, Anish, it's all good questions. We just saw this footage. It's horrible to watch. I just have to get more information on it.
And she was nonchalantly more like, "Yeah, we saw the video, but we have to check it out." And they were saying, "Do you think that's right for them to be able to do that?" And she just kept deflecting. Well, we're looking into it. We just got the video ourselves. Well, when something is bad, and you just ask me, hey, do you think it's right for such and such to do such and such? Me as a human being, or as me as a human being, as a person, I would just say, hell no, that's not right. And we're looking into it. You don't have to deflect. This woman is up here deflecting like hell. She's deflecting. And it just doesn't look good on the Biden administration, especially when you're on horseback, whipping people with whips. And we've seen immigrants cross the border. I never seen them get whipped with whips. I've seen them try to, capture them, send them back, detain them or whatnot. But to whip them with whips, it's almost like they're trying awful hard not to let these black people cross the border. But if they're going to be real with it, you got to be real all the way. If this is going to be a country that we're not going to allow people to cross the border, it's got to be good for the goose, has to be good for the gander. That means every immigration that's crossing the border shouldn't be allowed to cross the border, no matter what's your situation. Once you allow some to do it, everybody's going to want to do it. And it's only right. If you're letting some do it, you have to let all do it. Or either you have to let none do it. See, so as a country, we got to make our rules and make them stand. Hey, this rule is for everybody. This rule can't be for one group and not for the other group. Because now we're being biased as a country. And you know what I mean? Then that gets you, if you think about it, the way that I see it like, hey, they sure trying to stop these black Haitians from coming over here. But we have the Mexicans crossing the border every day. They detain them, and you pop a baby out. Now the baby becomes legal. You know how that whole legal jargon that they get into with it? Because I don't really get into that whole migration thing, but I do know right from wrong. If you're going to allow one to do it, you have to allow all to do it. If you're not going to allow one to do it and the other to do it, don't allow none to do it. And with that, I'm going to say this is the new Zenu, North, East, West, South, unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.